All right, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. This is yours truly, Omar Stennett, and we are so delighted that you have joined us for another good episode. Right, our lasting people are saying that they are sure that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win. Listen, I'm going to bring my humble pie for the next episode. And if Kansas City Chiefs lose, I'm going to stuff that humble pie in my face right here live so you can see it and believe it, because I am sure that the Kansas City Chiefs will win. But we're not going to talk about that for this episode. We want to discuss some football. All right? We're going to discuss some what is happening in the leagues all around. Well, Atletico Madrid, I don't know. There are some problems with Barcelona right now because somebody within Barcelona got Messi's contract. And that contract was shared to one of the major newspaper outlets in Barcelona, Spain. And what happened, that was made public. And there's turmoil in the Barcelona camp because of that exposure and lawsuit. Real Madrid is not playing well. And I think at the end of the season, Zidane is gone again. I am sure. Gone again. I never really rated Zidane as a coach. I think he's a great midfielder. Of course, he's not better than none of my Brazilian footballers. For real, Holyfield. I'm not joking. I am sure that Zidane no good like Ronaldinho. What you talk about? You must be mad. Anyways. But so Barcelona appears like though Koeman is a good coach and he has got them playing good football, that they are going to struggle. And Real Madrid is struggling. And therefore, the rate that Luis Suarez is scoring goals at Atletico Madrid. You remember Luis Suarez moved from Barcelona, major problems. And Barcelona really gave one of their contenders one of their most lethal goal scorers. And so he goes there with something to prove. He's a leading goal scorer in La Liga now. And so it looks, at first I was doubting that they would win, but they're up by 10 points and they have 2 games in hand. And so if they win both games, they'll be 16 points. And they are past the midway point of the league. And even if they lose to Barcelona, if they lose to the 4 top teams, that's 12 points they drop. So they would still be 4 points ahead. You understand? Even if they lose 5 more games, they would still win the league. And so I can't see them losing it from here. And so I was sure that they were going to lose. But after serious consideration, I am sure I have a right to change my opinion. And because of that, I can say no. I am sure that Barcelona, Real Madrid, will not topple Atletico Madrid. And at a later date, I will let you know who I am sure will win the La Liga. But when it comes to England, don't fool yourselves. Manchester United fans, I am resolute in my position. I am sure. Listen, your team is doing tremendously well. Most of you wanted this coach to be fired, and I said, give the man a chance. You have to give him ratings because he has dealt with the disunity in the squad. They're playing very good football, though sometimes he makes some very strange decisions, You understand me? He's the kind of coach, like the kind of player he was. He was a substitute, a super sub player, which means there are some games he pops up and he makes some very good plays and scores some very good goals. And I think every now and then he pops up with a tactical thing that works very well, but he's not consistent, right? And so I think that is going to affect your running in terms of winning the title, all right? Though you're playing well. I also believe because you don't have a point man, a very clinical young centre forward. Rashford is too inconsistent. In fact, I believe that Greenwood is a whole lot better than Rashford, but they're not going to start Greenwood over Rashford. I think Martial is inconsistent. I think Cavani is past his best. So you really don't have, that's the only reason why I doubt your ability to win. And like I said previously, when the team is doing well, Pogba is at the top of his game. If you go through a poor spell, his form and his confidence drops. And that is the reservation I have. All right, I have that reservation, and what compounds it is that City, without Kevin De Bruyne, Aguero, Raheem Sterling, are playing good football. They have only conceded 13 goals in 19 games. That's an average of under 1 goal per game. And they score the most goals in the league. So they are scoring a lot of goals and they are conceding few goals, which means defensively they are well. And it doesn't take away from their offensive powers, though Kevin De Bruyne is not there and Raheem Sterling hasn't played consistently. And so I believe that come to the back end of the season when De Bruyne and Sterling is back, if they keep this form defensively, then they are going to be unstoppable. I even think it will be very difficult for Liverpool to beat them. Though there's a big game this weekend because Liverpool and Man City meet. And I think for this game, Man City has the edge. Though Liverpool got in a couple of defenders, I don't think they will be ready enough right now to come into the Premier League and make a major difference. Probably after 6-7 games, which I believe by that time, Man City could just nudge ahead to a place where they're going to take the title. So I'm picking Man City again. I'm sure that Man City has enough in their squad, and Pep Guardiola is a good enough coach to kind of give them one more Premier League title. Unless they progress in the Champions League and they make that a priority over the Premier League, I don't see them losing. I think Manchester United have to make a decision. Are they going to try to contend in Europe and try to win the Premier League title and try to win the FA Cup? If they try that, they don't have the depth in squad, I believe, to contend in all three. And so they're going to have to decide, what are they going to play one strong team on Thursday, and then they have a Premier League game on the Sunday, then they have one on the Tuesday, and the return leg of the Europa League on the Thursday. How is that going to work? So all of those dynamics are going to affect them. And so I think Liverpool, when their players come back, with the exception of Van Dijk, because they have purchased these two players, I think it gives them a better chance of finishing second. All right, that could go between second somewhere there. And again, you may not agree with this, but I think Chelsea's new coach gonna give Chelsea an immediate. You know, when a new coach comes in, the first 5 games, the team performs for the coach because everybody's proving a point. After that, they will decline. But I think that first 5 games going to put them on a winning momentum because they have some easy games. And that's going to propel them up the table. And so with that in mind, Chelsea are going to be in the top 4 running. Believe me. So I think the top 4, you could see City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man U finishing 4th. They could finish in front of Chelsea, but the top 2 is definitely, in my opinion, Liverpool and Man City. And I'm not a Man U hater. I'm an Arsenal fan. You know that. Love Arsenal, but I think they're going in the right direction, but they don't have enough in their squad. And I think what Arsenal should do is secure their position in the Premier League, in the top 8. And go hard at winning the Europa League to get back in the Champions League. And if they can't win Europa, they have to push for top 6. So they have to decide which one is easier to get us in Europe next year. Is it going for the Europa League? And if you see that the people who are going to match up against in the playoff, in the run of 32-16 and stuff, are 2 tough opponents, then you just give up on it and focus on climbing up the Premier League table. That's my thoughts where that is concerned. So I am sure that the top 4 will consist of City, Liverpool, United, and Chelsea. I am sure. All right? I am sure So what are we sure about today? Let me start off by looking to Sunday's Super Bowl. Well. I know some of you are waiting on that game. You're waiting on it because you're almost sure that I am going to be wrong. But I am sure that I am going to be right. I know that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to dominate, annihilate Tom Shady. Did I get his name correct? Sorry. Tom Brady. He's going to lose. Easy like Sunday morning. How do I know? Let me give you the reasons why Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to lose at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. The pass protection, the protection for the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs is superb. It means that for this game, he's not going to be sacked and he's not going to be put under a lot of pressure because the rush defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will not be allowed to touch Patrick Mahomes. Believe me on that. And once he's able to stay in the pocket and throw the ball, there's no one on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that can stop the short hill. Speedy. The man runs the 100 meters in 10.18 seconds. He could represent Jamaica at the Olympics. Who can stop him? No one can stop him. He's too quick. That's the running game. Then they have Kelsey. Come on now. For the passing game. Man is tall. I mean, the connection between him and Mahomes. I can't see the Buccaneers winning. And I don't know why people keep talking about Tom Brady. It's a great thing that he has accomplished to get to another Super Bowl. And see, he has left New England, and New England has declined, and he has really continued where he left off. But this is the end of the road. You know? Oh, we've come to the end of the road. You know that song? This is the end of the road for Tom Brady. He is the greatest of all times. Call him the GOAT if you want to. That's fine. But for this Super Bowl, he ain't gonna win. I don't bet. But if you choose to bet, do not bet against Kansas City. And I know it's KC, and I'm not a KC person. You understand me? Say it don't matter if you're a Jamaican, you can understand the KC example that I'm using. But the Kansas City Chiefs, easily, the red and whites, easily are going to win this. They had some of the best records in the regular season. We have to understand that. They had the best record offensively, some of the best outputs defensively. The pass game was superb throughout the season. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you watch the regular season, struggled. Not only that, but there are no major injury or COVID issues that would prevent the best players from both teams playing. So it should be a very good game, and it is this Sunday. So watch it. It's going to be one of the, I believe, one of the better Super Bowls of all time. And I think the numbers in terms of television viewage is going to be so great just because of the pandemic, and not a lot of people will be allowed in the stadium. The good thing that it's in Tampa Bay, and I know that the restrictions there are a little bit different from several other cities. So there will be spectators. I figure that they'll be primarily Tampa Bay Buccaneers supporters, but that's not a big deal. You know, I don't think that will affect the outcome of the game anyways. The one thing that I'm scared about is the officiating. Because sometimes, you know, these all-time great quarterbacks and players in sporting games, they get the advantage of certain calls. And if there's any doubt I have about the Kansas City Chiefs winning, it's just how the game will be called. But we shall see. But I am sure Kansas City Chiefs will take it. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Give me a comment. It will be very interesting. But trust me, I know what I'm saying. And most things that I say I'm sure about ends up being what actually happens. We also want to talk a little bit about the West Indies cricket team out there in Bangladesh. Yes, the first test starts on Tuesday, Caribbean time. Tuesday morning early, Caribbean time. Truthfully, I think the bowlers that we have will give a good account of themselves. We have Shannon Gabriel, who is one of the senior bowlers. We also have Kemar Roach, who is one of our better bowlers. Though these guys, they don't have good figures overseas. The best bowling is really in the Caribbean, and the pitches, as you know, in places like Bangladesh and India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, they are very flat pitches. But I do believe that they will cause a couple of challenges for the Bangladeshis. So I expect our bowling to really hold out in this. The thing that I'm concerned about is our batting, because I believe the best batsmen we have at playing spin opted not to go on the tour. I know Blackwood did well, Jermaine Blackwood, that is, on the last tour that we had. He did well in England, he did well in New Zealand. The struggle I have, though, or what I think he's going to struggle with, is the amount of spin. The Bangladeshis are known for playing just one pace bowler in a test match and 4 spinners. And so that's going to be a full diet of spin for the series and for the test matches. There are only 2 tests, and I think if we can draw both games, that would be very good. If we can manage to win one and it ends 1-1, that would be good. If we win, that would be good for these players, because I believe that if this crop of players go to Bangladesh and win or tie this series, then a lot of the guys who opted to stay, with a few exceptions, should not be re-included in the West Indies side. That's my personal opinion, because a lot of them who opted not to go to Bangladesh are now playing in the Abu Dhabi T10 tournament, right? I don't get it. As I said before, that one who decided to stay contracted the COVID, while the players over there in the bubble in Bangladesh are doing well. And so the reason and the excuses are looking very, very lame. And what will kill off those excuses is if these guys in Bangladesh perform well in the test series. Right? We almost didn't expect to lose. I want people to remember that last time we lost to Bangladesh, in Bangladesh, Craig Brathwaite was the captain and were defeated too. The other time that we lost in Bangladesh, Brian Lara was the captain of that West Indies side, and they defeated us 2-0. So, I mean, and he was in that team. I think that was the first time Bangladesh had ever defeated the West Indies. So when you look at those things, at home, most test nations are doing well. And so my optimism is that we'll come out of this with a tied series, and I think that would argue well for these players. I'm really hoping that an Nkrumah Bonner, a John Campbell can make some runs. They have this new guy, Shane Mosley, from Barbados. If he can make some runs, that would be good for him. I know Jimbo is Rakeem Cornwall. He's the heaviest cricketer in Test cricket right now. The man is like 6'6". His weight is not on the scale. That's how big he is. But he looked like he has shed some pounds, and he's still big. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that he can do some stuff with the ball. And if he can make a couple of half centuries, that would be good for him. He can cement his place in this West Indies team. Joshua Da Silva, the young wicketkeeper, could also cement his place in this West Indies team. He showed up well in New Zealand as our previous Shane Dorridge was really struggling. And so he has an opportunity. And you have to see that sometimes crises create opportunities, and you have to maximize those times. Of that, I am sure, right? And I want to close, and so that's some cricket stuff that I want you to know. So I am sure. What am I sure about? This is I am sure sport. But when it comes on to the West Indies thing, I am not sure. I am sure though that we will not win the series. I am sure. I am sure that we will not win the series, but I'm sure that we will give a good account of ourselves. How does that sound? Does that sound like I am sure? Because I'm not even sure if I can be sure about anything concerning West Indies. Can you? Can you really be sure about anything concerning West Indies? I want to touch now briefly on this video VAR. They call it Video Assistant Referee. And I'm upset. I am sure that this is not no video assistant referee because it's not assisting the referees. I call it VAR is very atrocious refereeing. I'm upset. I don't know what has gone wrong with the people in England. The English are trying to destroy football with this very atrocious refereeing that they call VAR. It is assisting the referee to steal. You're watching the Premier League games. A man is clearly offside. And the goal is given. And after the goal is given, they don't replay the game. You know what they did? They changed the rule. That's the Aston Villa Man City game. Go back to the Tottenham game earlier in the season. Man heads the ball. The defender's back is turned, the ball touches his hand. They give the penalty. And they go to the very atrocious refereeing. When they went there, you know what they decided to do? Here's what they decided to do. Change the rule. Recently you saw the David Luiz incident in the Arsenal versus Wolverhampton Wanderers game. And David Luiz is running away. He's a defender and he's running away from the attacker. The attacker is running to score. The attacker the studs of the attacker touches David Luiz's knee as he's trying to make an escape from a red card. David Luiz is trying to run away from a red card. The attacker's studs touch David Luiz's knee. The referee gives a penalty. And I'm saying, okay, give the penalty. Then he turns around and gives David Luiz a red card and said that is the letter of the law. What about the spirit of the law? Very atrocious refereeing VAR. What about the spirit of the law? The man did not even go and look at the VAR cameras. It is robbery and it needs to be taken out of football. I am sure. And you know what? You're laughing now because it don't affect your team yet. You wait. I am sure that your outcry will be greater than mine when if you won the game, you'd have won the championship. But very atrocious referee in VAR made a bad call. I am sure that what the English are doing with VAR is corrupting the sport. Corrupting the sport. Who is this person up in the very atrocious refereeing? I don't know. I don't know if him get a phone call and say, hey, I don't know. I'm not seeing him. Somebody could call him and say, hey, you know, so me have a little 10 pop put down for you. Me have 100 pop put down for you. Just give him the card. Just give them the penalty. And when you finish, just check me down at your favorite bar. Pick it up from the bar. I don't know. It needs to be taken out of football. And we just work with bad decisions. Because it's human error. What we can't live with is when you look at human error and then say, it is error, but we have to go on. And then after we go on, we will change the rule. I I am sure that VAR needs to apply it right, and it needs to be taken out of the sport. That I am sure. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Do you hear? Sharing is caring. And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Thank you for watching. I am Sure Sports. We'll be back again. So stay tuned.